tailback. They put Reynolds at tailback. So I'm not
Maybe
really.
they didn't have a package for him.
I'm not really. How can you not have a running back package for the running back? What
But I mean, I'm just trying to throw. I don't know why.
There's no way to rationalize it.
Yeah, you're right.
That doesn't make any sense what they're doing. Situation. Desmond Ridder's first road start. I don't know how he's going to handle that environment. Falcons have found a way to win. Both first games are at home. Probably got outplayed by Green Bay in a lot of ways, but found a way to win it late. I'm interested to see how Ridder handles this road environment. I don't trust the Lions. This is a game I probably won't get involved with.
Yeah, I think I'm going to bet the Lions because I'm a glutton for punishment. And it meets, like, when the number moves 3 points from a look ahead and then it caresses up against the key number of 3, I can't resist. It's just every buy low contrarian bone in my body says now's the time to bet the Lions.
I'll tell you what's going to happen at 3. One of 3 things. They're not going to cover. You're going to get a push, or they are going to cover.
But that's okay.
So you have 3 options.
That's okay.
I wouldn't talk anybody out of either side. I just give my reasons for why I won't get involved in game. Like some of these games, especially when it comes to NFL, because those lines are already pretty tight across the board. If I don't have a strong opinion, I just choose to just sit back and watch. I got my little notepad, taking notes. Maybe it's something I can use for down the line.
Love a good note. I mean, he had like graph paper out earlier, like protracting angles and calculus and all kinds of math stuff. All right, speaking of Atlanta, Eric Eager, VP of Research and Development at Sumer Sports from the Dirty South, are hanging out down there now with his new gig. Yeah, so we're going to have to hang out with him coming up on the other side. VSiN Primetime, Football Friday. Stay with us.
Seems to have trouble paying his tab. Already suffering the $44 billion money woes from buying Twitter, now X, Musk is also on the hook for paying severance to more than 6,000 employees that were fired under his reign. With promises of at least 2 months of severance pay going unfulfilled, 2,200 cases have already been filed. Between X's current legal battles and rising bills, it's fun to watch.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-281-4224. 800-281-4224. 800-281-4224. That's 800-281-4224.
Wake up call. Billy Corgan said he saw a shapeshifter once.
You know, that lady has been around.
No, the lady who said she saw, do you believe that's her? She's super good looking. She looks like a model.
I think it is her.
It probably is.
I mean, why would you want to claim that?
Maybe she's the shapeshifter, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, she's admitting to, like, she kind of had a breakdown of
family, get to her.
Under tremendous stress. But that's what the shapeshifters want you to say.
Wake up call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
Imagine learning about radio and being mentored by true radio professionals in real radio stations. Well, you don't have to imagine, because there's Radio Connection. Radio Connection gives you the opportunity to learn one-on-one and be mentored by radio pros. Plus, you don't have to worry about a crazy amount of debt with school tuition either. Radio Connection keeps their tuition at much lower cost. Find out more info, visit radioconnection.com. This is Prime Time with Tim Murray and Sean King on the SportsMap Radio Network.
This is VSiN Primetime with Tim Murray and Sean King on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Looking to be a better. Well, of course you are. And tens of thousands of people have already tuned to Juice Reel. That's Juice Reel in the App Store. Juice Reel is not a sports book. It's a tool to help you beat the books. Juice Reel connects all of your sports betting accounts into one app, loads all of your betting history, gives you an analytical edge backed by nearly $1 billion in bets from sports bettors in all 50 states. Use that data to follow the winners, fade the losers. Don't place another bet until you've downloaded this revolutionary sports betting tool, Juice Reel. That's juice like orange juice, Reel, R-E-E-L. I'm just reading off the page here, guys. It's absolutely free. Download Juice Reel to your iPhone or Android device today. Become a better. I love when I get a new, because I haven't hosted in a few weeks, I get a new set of reads. By the way, that was completely cold. I did not look at that before I read it.
Yeah, I've heard Tim stumble over it.
Yeah, well,
now.
It's the bane of our existence as hosts here on the network. VSiN Primetime is back. I'm Jared Smith. That's Sean King. Joining us now is our pal Eric Eager, VP of Research and Development at Sumer Sports. Eric, we're not going to make you do any reads for Juice Reel, I promise, but I am going to ask you about this Lions-Falcons game that we just talked about before the break, because I think when you see the number go from 6 now all the way down to 3, of course, Atlanta wins on Sunday, the Lions lose, they get upset by Seattle. Is that one of those buy low spots going off in your brain, or do you think the Falcons maybe deserve all that line movement in their favor?
Guys, I was at the Falcons-Packers game, and my section was going off about how bad Desmond Ridder was the whole time, to the point where there was a play where Dez pulled the ball out of Bijan's stomach for an RPO, and the whole section just yelled audibly no in unison. So I know we made a couple good plays at the end. I know that obviously his legs are great. Detroit's very injured in this one, but my goodness, this is an overreaction. I think Detroit's the only way you can go right now.
Tell you guys, Desmond Ridder's not an NFL quarterback. I've said that since last.
I like the first road start angle.
Yeah,
that would scare me.
I'm not backing
Atlanta.
Ridder, but I don't know that the Lions are thinking competently. I mean, until I see the plan for Jahmyr Gibbs, I can't back Detroit. Because it lets me know that as much as Ben Johnson was successful last year, and we thought he was like this boy genius, I don't get what they're trying to get accomplished on offense. I don't know, maybe you've seen some of your numbers say something different, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty effective on offense last week. And they moved the ball okay. Goff was, other than the interceptions, I thought made some really good throws. The play action game for Detroit is still pretty solid. I'm worried about Amon-Ra St. Brown being out. Practice earlier this week. He came back later. There are some things that worry me. I think a lot of these offensive wonderkins, are one-hit wonders, and maybe why, Ben Johnson should have taken the head coaching job he theoretically was being offered last year. But yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'm not that concerned though, and I think the Falcons defense giving up 24 points to a Packers offense, missing their 3 best players, that's an alarm bell for me.
And let me just be clear, because I think John Goulet said something, our program director, when he walked out. He walked in the studio and he said, "I'm with you, Jared." And I just want to make people, I don't have a dog in this fight. And then I think John said something that's very important. If you find yourself arguing within yourself about both sides, then just don't play that particular game. I'm not getting involved in Falcons-Lions.
That's fair. Eric, I think one of the other line moves that was interesting, or I guess I would say lack of a line move, we had 2 situations actually, where the backup quarterback has already been announced in for their respective teams. We get Carolina with Bryce Young out. We get the Colts with Anthony Richardson, and you get Minshew and Dalton now. But the line hasn't moved, and it probably isn't going to move anything more considerably than what we've seen already. Would you expect anything this weekend maybe, and how do you grade those 2 backup quarterbacks?
Yeah, when I'm looking at Minshew, I think it's a tough adjustment in game to go from Richardson to Minshew because of the size disparity, because of the velocity disparity. Giving a whole week to Minshew, I think, is really beneficial. Rob Pizzolo is a professional bettor. He's done a little bit of the research. The first game of a backup quarterback, especially if they're NFL caliber, is pretty solid. So I kind of like the Colts straights, and frankly, Baltimore's injured enough where I think the Colts will give them a game. For Carolina, man, the issue is Dalton was pretty good last year for the Saints, but you had Chris Olave, you had Rashid Shaheed, you had tight ends that can move. No one on this Panthers offense can move. They're all slow, they're all old, they're all not very good. And, Bryce Young was doing his best. I think we're going to see a really bad Dalton performance in this one. And honestly, that 1 o'clock hour for you guys out in the desert, that's going to be a huge privilege, with that game being the only competitive one.
Anything else there, Sean, to add on those two games?
No, I've never understood what the Panthers were doing. I've said this from the beginning, and Bryce's rookie year is basically just a throwaway year. They don't have any skill position player that anyone else would want. Like, no playoff contending team would want anybody that's at a skill position. Like, they brought in Adam Thielen.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
What about his Minnesota film last year said, let's go make this guy our number one wide receiver?
And it takes me to my next point, which is the Chicago Bears, who made that trade, of course, and who knows, they might get the number 1 pick
and the
this
number 2.
year, and then the Carolina
1 and 2 this year.
Next year. And it's been an interesting week in Chicago, Eric. But how do we grade the first 2 weeks of this Bears team? To me, they look like the worst team in the NFL. I think maybe the analytics might say something different. How would you grade Chicago through the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, Jared, an awfully charitable description. It's interesting, I would say. I would say, Getsy was somebody who I thought, got a little bit of ground covered last year. I thought he was, better at the end of the year than he was at the beginning. It hasn't been great there. JT O'Sullivan, the brilliant former quarterback in the NFL, broke that down in his show. And then on defense, man, like Eddie Jackson, now he's going to be doubtful for this one, so maybe that's helpful for the Bears. But guys that used to be good players are no longer good players, and it's scary to me how bad Chicago has been, given that like 2 weeks ago, every single Bears content creator in the world is telling you that you better look out for this team, and it's a 10-win team. Like it's a lot has gone wrong in 2 weeks. I wouldn't say Arizona's trying, not necessarily trying to win as much. So they'll get the number 1 pick, but I think Chicago is really in risking, picking in the top 5 again.
Well, they got the perfect medicine this week. A trip to Arrowhead, right? To play a Chiefs team that's trying to get going on their own side, without Eric.
Call that a get-right game, right?
It's interesting because the margins in the National Football League, Eric, are so small. I mean, when you look at halftime in the Tampa Bay game, it's only 13-10. At the end of the third quarter, it was only 20-10. So it's a competitive game, even though Chicago doesn't look like the right side to be on. But talk to me about the Chiefs. Went down to Jacksonville. They did get a win, hard-fought win, but they only put up 17. Second game in a row where they've kind of been below standard offensively. I know Kelsey was out in week 1, but how much of this is Eric Bieniemy not being there when you look at what he's doing in Washington?
Yeah, some of it. I mean, he was great on Sunday. I think Bieniemy is making people look pretty silly for not wanting him as a head coach for the last 5 years. As far as the Chiefs are concerned, look, their defense was phenomenal against the Jags, and 2 first-round picks on the edge. Chris Jones, obviously, a lot of money, or not a lot of money, but a lot of draft picks in that secondary. Back in the day when the Chiefs had great wide receivers, it was a bad defense. Something's got to give when you pay your quarterback as much money. And so they're banking on Patrick Mahomes being able to elevate a group of receivers that's not that strong versus being able to elevate a defense. And I think that's a good gamble. So they're kind of in that Patriots realm right now where they're kind of like the first month of the season just trying to figure it out, right? Remember all those years the Patriots start 2-2 and 1-3, and people will be like, is the dynasty over? And it's like, no, they're just working through things when other teams are so desperate to have a good start. The Chiefs know they'll be there at the end. They're kind of working through it now, and wide receiver, there's a lot of stuff to work through.
Talking to Eric Eager, VP Research and Development over at Sumer Sports. Eric, before we let you go, we have time for this game to kind of marinate until Monday night, but an interesting situation, of course, with Cincinnati and Joe Burrow. We don't know if he's going to play. I think the number, is it fair to say, half baking in Jake Browning right now? If Browning does start, you think the Rams close a favorite on Monday night?
See, here's the thing. Like, I make Burrow against the spread probably 5.5 points. So, yes, it's not necessarily going the whole way. Be that as it may, Burrow, and maybe Sean can back me up on this, guys like Burrow, guys like Dak, who don't have, like, the huge arm strength, I don't think that they handle in-season injuries very well. We've seen that with Dak the last couple of years. Mahomes is, throwing off a no feet with his arm strength. Obviously, Allen can deal with injuries better. To me, I think it's baking in. I don't think that they're actually, I think it's baking in fully what Burrow is right now, because Burrow playing injured is not necessarily that effective of a quarterback.
I agree. You just got a perfect example of the Ravens game. Obviously, he's not healthy. He's checking the ball down when normally he's aggressive, pushing it down the field.
It's an interesting line analysis game because, again, if you're dealing with a fully healthy Joe Burrow, the number obviously is significantly higher, and if he misses.
Do you love anything, Eric? We only got about 30 seconds left.
I like the Steelers on the road this week. I like Cleveland against Tennessee. Those are the two ones, to me, I think are a little bit mispriced.
Love it. Eric Eager, VP Research Development at Sumer Sports. Check out the book, too. You got a few seconds left, Eric. Plug the book.
Yeah, Football Analytics with Data Science and R. This is my new book that just came out Tuesday. If you are at all interested in handicapping using math, go ahead and get it.
If I was smarter, I would buy it, but I don't know if I'm smart enough, and that's why we have Eric on the show. Great stuff, pal. Talk to you soon.
Good stuff, Eric.
Thanks, guys.
More VSiN Primetime on the other side.
We're ready. Your business is ready. Cintas makes sure they have what they need to perform their best. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, fire protection systems that are tested and inspected, first aid and safety supplies, floor mats, or cleaning tools and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together, so visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready.
Get ready for the workday.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
First Name Sports with Greg Frank.
Hey, here's the other thing. You have Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman in L.A., Bryce Harper in Philly. You have star players in big market teams on display, and it's weird how we're saying this with both of the teams in New York being terrible. If you're Rob Manfred, if you're Major League Baseball, I think you have to be very optimistic about the kind of postseason we might get. I think we got that to an extent last year, where you had, obviously, the Astros and the Yankees, and they've butt heads quite a bit in the playoffs recently. You had plenty of star power with the Phillies and the Padres in that National League Championship Series, and so it all came together really well, where you had a bunch of stars on display in the baseball playoffs. And gosh, the way Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman are hitting the baseball right now, and the way Bryce Harper has had a power surge lately for the Phillies, you have all these guys that are still saying, I'm still him.
First name to 4 Eastern.
VSiN's college football betting guide is now available. VSiN experts pick season win totals for every FBS team. There's also team breakdowns, trends, and line estimates for every single game this season. The full guide is only available for VSiN Pro subscribers, but you can download a free special edition of the guide right now at sportsmapradio.com. That's sportsmapradio.com.
sportsmapradio.com. Right around. It's tough. They can't control me. You know what I mean? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot as it is, so it's hard enough to control anyway.
When I'm waiting to come on as a guest, I can hear you.
You can hear everything. We're doing everything. We're talking this. We're talking that. We're putting bets in. We're doing shots. No, we're not doing shots. We do shots after the show. But no, it's hard. It's being a producer in radio is really hard, and I'm being very serious. I've been doing this a long time. I've had some brilliant producers. I've had some tough ones that it's hard. It's a hard job. Imagine idiots like me that you sometimes it's out of your control, and it sucks too because they don't get paid that much. they need to be paid more. I wish we should start like a producer GoFundMe for producers. But some of them are really good.
Radio Network.
First Name Sports with Greg Frank.
You can feel bad for Aaron Rodgers and also laugh at Jets fans today. I'm telling you that both of those emotions are fair emotions to exist. Again, maybe a sobering reminder. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Don't be putting your team already in the playoffs in a loaded AFC or already thinking that you could be in the AFC Championship game or even the Super Bowl when your franchise has been nothing but a mess for over a decade.
First Name Sports, weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 Eastern.
We're listening to Primetime with Tim Murray and Sean King on the SportsMap Radio Network.
This is VSiN Primetime with Tim Murray and Sean King on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Oh, the VSiN shows are clashing. We've got a subscription contest going on between the shows here at VSiN. We need your help to win. At stake, a $1,000 voucher at Circa to be used on a Super Bowl futures ticket. To sweeten the deal, you'll save 10% when you sign up for a new VSiN Pro annual subscription and use promo code PRIME. That is the theme of the month, I guess, huh? Prime. Bragging rights and a juicy futures ticket on the line. It's time to start being smarter. Help us do the same. Visit VSiN.com/subscribe to sign up for a new annual subscription. Save 10% with that promo code PRIME. That is VSiN.com/subscribe. And VSiN Primetime returns. Jared Smith in for Tim Murray today, who will join us in the next hour from Chicago, live in the Windy City. That is Sean King hanging out in his usual spot. We're going to talk a little bit about we have our confidence picks coming up, but now I guess it's the unconfident picks, or the undercard, as they say, before we get to the big main course of the weekend. Do you want to start with college football? Do you want me to start with Yerfy Nerfy? I will give the honors to you, sir.
You can go to Yerfy Nerfy. Okay,
so I am doing a new thing, and for those who have been loyal followers of the Yerfy Nerfy journey this year, it's been up and down. We do a little different over the last, I would say, 3 weeks. And that is, instead of taking the Nerfies and just betting them, which you could still do because I'm handicapping them the same, I'm changing up my strategy a little bit with the write-ups that I do for VSiN.com. And that is basically just to take under 1.5 runs in the first inning. I'm still picking 2 games, right? We do 2 games for the column every week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm still picking 2 games on the Nerfy side, but instead of just individual Nerfy bets, we're going under 1.5 in the first inning and parlaying them together. The reason being, well, it's twofold. A, we're at the end of the year. Bankroll's getting a little tight with baseball. We can make one bet now and pay the vig once instead of having to make 2 separate bets. Secondly, those Nerfies are sweats, man. And it hasn't been a good year for me betting Nerfies. I'm actually down and under 500. So I thought this was a fun way over the last couple weeks to kind of switch things up. Last Sunday we hit. So that's really good. Tonight, I'll give them to you quick because, again, the handicaps get pretty convoluted when we get too in the weeds with this. So we are going under 1.5 runs in the first inning on Kansas City, Houston. Cole Raggins has been fantastic, 10-0 so far to the Nerfy. Framber Valdez, also the ace of the Astros staff. And Tigers Athletics, the late game out in Oakland. Sawyer Gibson-Long has made 2 starts, and he's looked fantastic, 2-0 to the Nerfy. And Ken Waldachuk is the sweaty portion of that one. But lefty against the Tigers. Pretty solid this year. He'll take away some of that lefty power from Kerry Carpenter, and Torkelson's only faced him twice. So, again, under 1.5 runs in the first inning parlay. It's about minus 150, minus 140, minus 150 over at DraftKings. Kansas City, Houston, under 1.5. Detroit, Oakland, under 1.5. You can read more if you want on VSiN.com.
And I have tailed Jared on the Yerfy Nerfy plays 3, if I'm correct.
Individual ones as well. Yep. Those are fun.
Let's go ahead and cash a little ticket tonight. All right, over to college football. Last night we brought Femi Abefe on the show, and he laughed at me, him and Tim. They had a good old time. Didn't know who Robert Lewis was. But see, that's
Did
why.
they really laugh at you?
Yeah, that's why I was AAC Recruiter of the Year, because when it comes to this game of college football, I just know things, okay? So Robert Lewis was never in doubt last night. As Georgia State gave it out on the show, plus the points, won outright at Coastal Carolina. That moves the road team to 7-0 in the last 7 games in the Georgia State Coastal Carolina matchup. So tonight we're going back to the gridiron. Number 4 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, Purdue wide receiver Deion Burks. Anytime touchdown tonight. The pride of Belleville, Michigan.
Stand by for this special presentation of the iMeda1 network on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app. Radio and AM 600 WRQX. The Patriot are proud to bring you Springfield Tigers football in the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week. And now with tonight's call, here's Jim Craven and the coach, Bob Gessler.
And we welcome you to Springfield Tiger Stadium here in New Middletown as Western Reserve Radio and WRQX AM 600, the Patriot, are proud to bring you Week 6 of the Ohio High School football season. And for the next 25 minutes, we will take you through the Cleveland Cobras pregame show and get you ready for the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week. Hello, everyone. Jim Craven with you along with the coach, Bob Gessler, as we get ready to bring the Springfield Tigers 3-2 coming into this week, taking on the undefeated 5-0 Jackson Milton Blue Jays. Before we get started, I want to thank, of course, Jerry Sandrock from Sandrock Concrete, Jesse Caldwell and the Cleveland Cobras, and all of our sponsors that make this broadcast possible. We also want to thank Springfield Athletic Director Bob Beam and Springfield head coach Sean Guerrero, as well as Jackson Milton Athletic Director Abby Fishtorn for helping us out with this week's production and information. Take a look at last week's scores across the iMedia1 network over on City View Sportscast. The Mineral Ridge Rams, they would get the win over Waterloo. Of course, Waterloo, a common opponent here with Springfield as well. Poland, they would head out to Hubbard, and they would knock off the Eagles by a score of 53-0. And, of course, the game you heard right here on Western Reserve Radio and WRQX. Springfield traveling to Vienna, take on the Matthews Mustangs. Springfield gets the 71-0 win. Coming up tonight on the iMedia1 network, of course, here you'll have Springfield and Jackson Milton, a great matchup here with an undefeated team coming in there to Middletown. And over on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240, it will be Mark Means and Dave Clark bringing you the Cheney Cowboys and the Harding Raiders, that game being played at Mollenkoff in Warren City. And over on City View Sportscast, Matt Lipsack and Matt Emsch will bring you the Mineral Ridge Rams as they make the trip down to Lowville to take on the Rockets. Coach, last week we look at Springfield by the numbers versus Matthews. Offensively, they put up 415 yards in offense, not much passing, 3 of 5. They tried to eat up the clock as much as they could. Not much really to say. In the last 2 weeks, you've outscored your opponents 127-0. That is the good news. The bad news is you've outscored your opponents 127-0. And a little concern maybe about the team being tested getting into the second half of the season when you're having games like that.
Yeah, that's a little bit tough. And I'm sure Coach Guerrero's got them focused and said, hey, you know, the winning record for Matthews isn't good, although I have to admit that they played, I believe it was Thursday, and they got their first win. So that was a good thing. But, they really have to stay focused because now they're going to get into their meat of their season. And, you can't let up. That was, I don't want to say an easy win, but they were able to do as they pleased against the Mustangs. But, again, they've got to sharpen and stay sharp.
Take a look at some of the other numbers from that game. Springfield, again, with another block punt for a touchdown. That would be the second in as many weeks. It'd be the second shutout in the row for Springfield. And again, as we mentioned, they have outscored their opponents in the last 2 games by a score of 127-0. We're going to step aside for our first break. When we come back, Mark Means had the opportunity to speak with Springfield head coach Sean Guerrero in the Malutic Live Coaches Corner. We will hear what he had to say. All that and much more coming up here on the Cleveland Cobras pregame show. Stick around. We'll be back right after this on Western Reserve Radio and WRQX AM 600 The Patriot. Back after this.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras from around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the 442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Mill Creek Golf Course is now open. Experience the Donald Ross Championship design of both courses, where you can book a tee time online at millcreekmetroparks.org. Mill Creek features a newly remodeled golf shop, new cart paths, and is a Callaway certified club fitting facility with demo days. The PGA professional staff is now accepting golf outings and leagues. For more information, call 330-7112 or stop by and see what all Mill Creek Golf Course has to offer you.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Now back to the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week on Western Reserve Radio and AM 600 The Patriot.
Inside the Malutic Live Coach's Corner with Springfield head coach Sean Guerrero. And, Coach, you go to Matthews last week. You put up a big number offensively, but I know a key for you is you got a lot of young men playing time in that game against Matthews.
Yeah, this is a game where we're to play a ton of kids. A lot of kids are going to be able to get touches or participate on. For us, it was a good game overall where we had a ton of kids just trying to get the next coming weeks and trying to build some depth on the way.
You know, I looked at the number the last 2 weeks, 127-0, but we've been doing this interview together for several years now, and I know no matter what that number is, there's always something to work on and get better at, correct?
Well, yeah, and it's, I always talk about the kids. I mean, you don't think about it, but the game is very repetitious. For us to line up and do it over and over again, whether that's setting the front, that's hitting the gap, blocking down, whatever, we just got to make sure that they do that. So no matter who we face, that's something that we got to be able to make sure that we're consistent in what we're doing. And it's important for us, like before, is to get some kids some rep in the varsity game that kids might not. You never know what teams are going to do or how they're going to play you. So for us, it's good reps and some good look against going live.
Coach, you look at the first 5 games of the season. You sit at 3-2. What are your thoughts as you pass the midway point this week on the season so far?
Well, I'm happy with the season so far. Now, I'm not saying I'd love to be 5-0, but we go to South Range and we don't play very well. Then we come back and bounce back against Brookfield and had a good week. And Geneva was a great game and it was great competition for us. So that was a good game that I felt like our kids played really hard for 4 quarters against a good quality team. And then the last 2 games, we were in control a little bit. I think we're moving in the right direction. I still feel the kids are buying into what we're doing and what we're trying to tell them, just to make sure that we got to still be able to make sure that we're getting better and our focus is still to be the best Springfield Tiger team that we could be by week 11.
Coach, you get a nice stretch of home games beginning this week with a very good Jackson Milton Blue Jay team that's 5-0 for the first time in several years. How do you anticipate this matchup? What are you looking at against the Blue Jays?
Well, for us, they give you a ton of different looks on defense. They move around, they blitz, they angle, they stunt. They try to keep you up. For us, offensively, they have a ton of kids that touch the football. Got a couple different kids that line up at quarterback. So I Coach Brody does a good job of preparing them and putting them in the best, situation to win a football game. So for us, I think it's going to be more about us. I think it's going to be, can we control the line of scrimmage? Can we move the ball, offensively? But it's going to be, about us and how disciplined we can be and not give them an easy 5-yard jumping off sides or doing that. So it's going to be more about, our kids and how we're on and how we end up playing in all 3 phases.
Coach, is there a key, one particular thing you feel like, if we can accomplish this, we have a chance to get a big victory this Friday?
Say this, if we can get a quick start again. I feel like that would be, very good for us, just being able to maybe have them feel uneasy. And I know Coach Brody does a good job of kind of putting the kids in a situation. Don't have time to do that. We can get a quick start. We start on defense. Get a 3 and out, and then for us to hop on them, I think that would be a positive for us. Just trying to make sure this team, the longer the game goes where they play with us, the better chance that they're going to, the better chance they're winning the game.
Coach, as always, appreciate it. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Mark.
Catch all of the spring and summer action of Cleveland Cobras minor league football on Western Reserve Radio. Follow the Cobras as they compete around the region in pursuit of a Tri-Point Football League championship. And if you're looking to continue your football career after high school, college, or even the pros, or to be part of the Cobra staff, 442. Be a part of the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football.
Melodic Live is your home for high school sports. We have all the scores on our social media platforms throughout the games. Enjoy our timely updates from local area schools year-round. You won't get the consistency and reliability from anyone else. Our number one priority is servicing our fans and getting them live news as it's happening. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Melodic_Live. And remember, our fans come first.
Mill Creek Golf Course is now open. Experience the Donald Ross Championship design of both courses, where you can book a tee time online at millcreekmetroparks.org. Mill Creek features a newly remodeled golf shop, new cart paths, and is a Callaway certified club fitting facility with demo days. The PGA professional staff is now accepting golf outings and leagues. For more information, call 330-7112 or stop by and see what all Mill Creek Golf Course has to offer you.
Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
Now back to the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week on Western Reserve Radio and AM 600 The Patriot.
Back here in New Middletown, Springfield and Jackson Milton about to take the field here in just a few moments as we take you through the Cleveland Cobras pregame show here on Western Reserve Radio and WRQX AM 600. Jim Craven with you, along with the coach, Bob Gessler. And, Coach, we take a look at the undefeated Jackson Milton Blue Jays under head coach Nate Brody. And I would say not as dominating wins as Springfield has had over certain teams here, but some common opponents, at least one up to this point, Matthews. They beat Matthews 27-0 in week 1. And, of course, they played Mineral Ridge. They handed Mineral Ridge their first loss on one of the very last plays of the game with a field goal, 23-20. So, again, we see the same wins, maybe not the same dominance. But, it's week 6 here. Everybody's getting a little bit better. I think this is going to be the, challenge that Springfield is looking for the last couple of weeks.
And that's exactly what it is. So they need to come out here and get it done. Airless football. Don't make the mistakes. Use your heads. Get out of here without any injuries and move on. But, again, you can't overlook a 5-0 team, and they've been playing well, and we'll see what happens by the end of the night.
Some of the key players that we're going to be looking at here today be Aiden Stanky, 68 yards per game through the air and 70 yards rushing. He is a dual threat, has put up 8 touchdowns. When you have somebody like that, they're going to have to wrap up, and sometimes we have seen Springfield not do that, and it has cost them. But when they're on their game, they're really tough to run against. Yeah, they're really going to have to stay in their lanes, and they're going to have to force the hand. They've got to not get too far upfield where he could cut up underneath. Also, the defensive line is going to have to step up and stop them, and that's just how that goes. So it's going to be the defensive line as far as the running game and what they do and how they get rid of their blockers and step in the holes and make contact. Cade Mitchell will be the quarterback for Jackson Mill tonight. He's averaging 76.8 yards per game on the ground, has thrown 8 touchdowns, and another dual threat, but all 8 touchdowns have gone to Aiden Stanky. There's a nice connection there. So whoever's going to be the corner on that side is going to have a big challenge tonight. They're going to have to play discipline.
Yeah, and I'm sure that in films they pick that out. Usually that's what they, you try to spot players and say, okay, this seems to be their number one guy, so we got to keep some heat on him and make sure that he we blanket him or we combo him, and let's not give him anything because he seems to be their number one receiver.
And of course, I want to thank Austin Malutic and Malutic Live for their sponsor of the Coach's Corner. And Malutic Live is your home for high school sports. Follow them on social media at Malutic_Live. Of course, we heard from Coach Sean Guerrero, who, again, last week had the opportunity to play a lot of underclassmen. And, of course, the underclassmen, they want to get into the end zone, too. They came in the fourth quarter. They produced, and that trend of using those young players when they have the opportunity continues, and that really builds the foundation for this program.
Yeah, and in the second half, he already had his people in. So, some people will say, well, why did he do this? Why did he do that? Well, when your 2s and 3s get in and they're hungry, they're their punching bags all during the week for the 1s. So when they get their opportunity, they want to shine, and I don't blame them. Hey, I'm not going to, as a coach, say fall down. Now, at the end of the game, that's a little different. But, third and fourth quarter, beginning of fourth quarter, mid-fourth quarter, you want them to score. You want them to get better for the future.
Yeah, certainly development is the key word that we use with the Springfield program. We'll take a look at the starters here for Jackson and Milton tonight. Again, the Blue Jays come in at 5-0 on the season. And looking on the offensive line is going to be Cole Capelli, Anthony Hawksley, Mason Hughes, and Brody Pugh. The wide receiver is going to be Aiden Stanky, Vincent Fay, and Joey Zayas. The running back will be Keegan White. And the quarterback will be the aforementioned senior Caden Mitchell. Defensively for the Blue Jays, it'll be Caden Mitchell, Keegan White, Aiden Stanky, Vincent Fay, Joey Zayas, Brody Pugh, Mason Hughes, Anthony Hawksley, Jack McDivitt, and Leo Hines. Coach, a lot of players going both ways. Springfield, in one area they do have it as an advantage, is they have some depth on both sides of the ball.
So this could this could help them in a win because attrition is going to help at this time. These Hogs are leaning on these guys and defensively and or offensively, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, certainly we talk about the development of the younger players, and when we start to see them come around mid-season, this is the kind of team here that will be really challenged when you have 2s that are just as good as the 1s.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. So. But again, it's a little tough. I've coached Smash Mouth football and Ironman football, and it sometimes gets a little rough because they get tired. So as I say, it's going to be who wins this game is what happens up front.
Springfield marching band making their way to the field, and of course we'll have the Springfield alma mater followed by the national anthem. But while we have the moment, we'll take a look at the Springfield offensive starters. This has been a relatively healthy team coming into week 6. We'll start up front with the offensive line. From tackle to tackle, it'll be Tyler Young, Tom Sheely, Zach Weichart, Lucas Totillo, and Connor Sugar. The tight end will be Jake O'Donnell, who's having an outstanding season. The wide receivers will be Sean Guerrero and Dylan Sheely. The fullback in the I formation will be Wyatt Kuboff. The running back will be Kason Kosick. And, of course, Dante Gentile, coach, who has really been tough here. He has picked up the hard yards and had some big runs.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He had the opportunity, and he broke in, and he said, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to prove you I need to be out there.
And, of course, the Springfield Tigers will be led on the field by the 6'3", 200-pound senior quarterback, Colton Ruark. Defensively for the Tigers, again, they have not given up a point in the last 2 weeks. We'll start up front on that 3-4 defense. It'll be Tom Sheely, Lucas Totillo, and Jake O'Donnell. The linebackers will be Kason Kosick, Dante Gentile, Wyatt Kuboff, and Josh Velasco. Defensive backs will be Aiden Appel and Dylan Sheely, and the safeties will be Hayden Pavlock and Sean Guerrero. Sean Guerrero also do the punting duties, and Kason Kosick will kick off, and the long snapper for everything will be Jake O'Donnell as the Jackson Milton Blue Jays make their way to the sideline here on a beautiful night, Coach. 72 degrees here at game time in New Middletown. No chance of any precipitation. We're getting lucky again, and I don't think we can ask for a better night here. Not hot at all.
Absolutely perfect out here. And this is, and with the new turf, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a good football game. And again, the team that makes the least mistakes will win this football game. But it's a beautiful fall, which will start, I believe, first of fall is tomorrow, I think I heard, or Sunday. So we're still in the summertime.
Certainly a conflicted feeling here. You love fall for the football season, but you hate to see summer go away. But we've been fortunate here on these Friday nights. Jackson Milton wearing their gray jerseys today and their white pants with the Jackson Milton blue helmets. Springfield will be in their all black jerseys and pants, white numerals with the orange detail, and the black helmets with the orange stripes with the tiger down the side as the Springfield Tiger Marching Band plays the alma mater. Haven't quite caught the coin. I don't think we've caught the coin toss yet. Okay, we did get that. Coach, what'd you get off of that?
Yeah, what they did was Springfield deferred to the second half, so Jackson Milton will be receiving.
And special teams has been a strong point for Springfield. Again, 2 block punts in as many weeks, 4 touchdowns. We're going to step aside for our national anthem as we get closer to the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week here on the Cleveland Cobras pregame show. Our nation's national anthem performed by the Springfield Tiger Marching Band. We're going to step aside for a 1-minute break. And when we come back, we'll wrap up the Cleveland Cobras pregame show, and we'll get underway with the Sandrock Concrete High School football game of the week coming up on West Radio, WRQX AM 600 The Patriot. We're back after this.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier. Then make sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
WRQX, Salem, Youngstown, Warren. We are AM 600, The Patriot, a Cumulus media station. WRQX, Salem, Youngstown, Warren. We are AM 600, The Patriot, a Cumulus media station.
Don't miss the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey at the Cavelli Center in downtown Youngstown. The Phantoms are preparing for the upcoming season as they take to the ice to defend their Clark Cup championship. With over a dozen highly touted prospects on this year's roster, the road to the NHL clearly runs through Youngstown. Purchase season tickets, group tickets, and individual game tickets now by calling 330-747-PUCK. That's 330-747-7825 or go to youngstownphantoms.com.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
Back here in the Middletown as we wind down the Cleveland Cobras pregame show. Cobras are building for the 2024 season. If you're interested in continuing your playing career or begin a coaching career, go to Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football or call Jesse Caldwell, 330-416-3442. Be a part of all the excitement of Cleveland Cobras football as we get ready for the kickoff, Week 6 of the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week. Case and Kosick to line up. As we get ready here, 12 minutes up on the board. And Kosick will get this one underway, and it's going to be down the near hash mark, picked up at the 8-yard line, brought out to the 15-20, and brought down at the 22-yard line. And that's where Jackson Milton will start their first drive of the game. Josh Velasco on the tackle. Great coverage by the kicking team, Coach.
Yeah, Vincent Fay did a nice job recovering that, getting a little bit of a return on that, so that was a pretty good job, but they were there to meet him.
Of course, this first quarter is brought to you by the USHL Clark Cup champions, the Youngstown Phantoms. The road to the NHL runs through Youngstown. Great season. Group and individual game tickets are now on sale for the 2023-2024 season. Call 330-747-PUCK or go to youngstownphantoms.com. Springfield now making their way to the line. They'll mark it officially at the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 as they will go single back with a receiver to the near side. Send a man in motion. A hand off the left side. And may have picked up a yard or two on the play. That one's going to be Aiden Stanky on the carry to get the Blue Jays going.
It was a good job by the defense. They stepped up and took it to them. That's a good job.
So they'll say it was officially a gain of 1 for the Jackson Milton Blue Jays. They'll come out in a pistol formation. Trip receivers tight to the left side, moving left to right on your device. Now they'll take it off the left side. Quarterback keeper out to the 25. They'll bounce it outside to the 26. That'll be a Caden Mitchell on the carry. Pick up a couple yards, maybe 3 on that. It's going to bring up 3rd down for the Blue Jays.
Kuboff did an outstanding job scraping across, and he was able to bottle him in, and that was a good tackle. He took him right down.
Again, those are 2 of the names already we've mentioned. We talked about in the Cleveland Cobras pregame show that Springfield are going to want to focus on. Jacksonville now making their way back to the line. 3rd and 6 now from their own 26-yard line. Bunch receivers to the right. One receiver in the near the hash mark on the far side. High snap, couldn't handle it, so Mitchell's going to take it himself. Try to get downfield, but he's going to get nowhere. May have lost a yard on the play. That's going to bring up 4th down for Jackson Milton. And they're going to have to go into punt formation.
Jake O'Donnell did a great job on that, and he saw it coming. The ball was bobbled, and he was able to seal that end. And he had a couple other of his buddies came in there and got him. So that's a great job. Great start by the defense. They got a few yards first down, and they've gone in reverse since.
So a short punt formation as they'll get this one away. And the ball will pass the 50-yard line, land at the 45 and take a Jackson Milton roll, actually, down to the 35-yard line. And that's where Springfield will take over 1st and 10.
That's a good job. Now let's see what the offense does. They held them defensively, which they looked like they were ready and nice and sharp. So we'll see what the offense does. They need to come out. No mistakes. Click right down the field. Let's run the ball a little bit here. Let's not get greedy and start throwing the ball. Let's try. It's test the waters running. See what they got.
Certainly Springfield's been successful on the ground as well through the air when they needed to be. Sheely and Guerrero, the prime targets for Colton Rourke. 9:45 left here, first quarter, no score. Jackson Milton doing nothing with the first possession. They punt this one away. And the Tigers will start off 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. That's where they'll mark it officially. As Rourke now will go into shotgun, twin receivers on the near side. They'll flip O'Donnell from the right tight end to the left side. Kuboff with the handoff on the jet motion. One guy tried to trip him up in the backfield, and he'll be brought down by a host of Jackson Milton Blue Jays. It's going to be a loss officially of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Springfield.
That was looked like Aiden Stanky ended up coming in there and busting through. As a linebacker, and I'll tell you what, he blew that play up in the backfield. That was a great job by his part. they just got to look for them backers, those guards. If they're comboing the 1 or the 3 technique, they got to have their heads up looking for that backer to come scraping through.
Jacob Lample will check in for Springfield. It'll be Shealy to the far side. Kuboff will be the wing to the right. Rourke in a shotgun. He'll send Kuboff in motion from right to left. Kuboff rolling out to his right, fires out to the 41-yard line. Caught by Shealy, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 47-yard line, and that should be close, if not already a first down for Springfield.
Yeah, he looks like he's real close. Leo Hines was on the tackle. Just a quick pass out, about 4 yards.
And they're actually going to say they're going to say he went out of bounds just about a yard short. Now they're going to say a little more than that now. I'm not sure about that one, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Left foot, right foot, Jim. You know that.
Well, this one must have gone with his left because somehow it doesn't look quite right. But anyway, nonetheless, 8:22 on a running clock. Handoff to Gentile. Gentile making his way past the midfield straight. He'll knock down a few Blue Jays, and he'll get down inside the Jackson Milton territory at the 40-yard line. No question on that one, Coach. That is a first down.
Yeah, he got right through. Tom Shealy was there leading the way, and he's looking for somebody to hit, and he slowed down in the hole, and he just pushed him a little bit ahead. If he'd have stayed behind that block and would have picked somebody out, it would have been great.
And we talked about Gentile, and he's been kind of the emerging back here for Springfield, splitting time with Case and Kosick, as Shealy now will split out to the far side. Guerrero will be in the slot to the far side as well. Have a tight end to both sides. He'll send Guerrero in motion from right to left. Rourke under center. Hand it off left side. Gentile again. He'll cut back to the inside. Past the 35 and down to the 34-yard line.
That was a massive hole on the cutback. Waiting for a number here. They get... That looked like Vincent Fay on the tackle. I'll tell you what, he doesn't get there on that cutback. He just grabbed him by the heels, and he went down. We apologize about this. They're with the gray and their blue numbers, and they're not real big numbers. So
takes us that extra half second.
Yeah, it does. And we apologize, but we want to give the kids the men their accolades.
Rourke in the shotgun. He'll send Shealy in motion from right to left. Gentile will be the running back. Rourke, quick pass out to Shealy. He'll cut it to the inside, get past the 35, down to the 33-yard line. May have picked up a yard on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and just about 3.
Yeah, I don't like that play. If you're going to catch that, don't go inside, go outside. Get what you can get, because as we've talked to our receivers on those quick passes, remember, those 11 are coming towards you. Don't run to them, run away from them. Try to get what you can get. So
Shealy and Guerrero will check out. Hayden Pavlock now in for the Springfield Tigers. No score here. 6:45 left here in this first quarter. Drew Miller now will check in at the receiver spot as well. O'Donnell will be the tight end to the right. I formation now. Kuboff and Dante Gentile in the I formation. They're going to give it to Gentile. He's going to cut back inside, break a few tackles. He's going to twist his way down to the 25-yard line. That's enough for a Springfield first down. Springfield executing fairly well on the first drive.
Well, I want to tell you, I'm watching that line up front, and they're blowing people out of there, and that's what they needed to do. They needed to get Connor Sugar drove his men at least 15 yards down the field. Great job, great block. So they're dominating up front right now, and it's opening the holes for them running backs. They're doing a great job.
Kosick now will be the tailback in the I formation. Shealy will be the receiver to the far side. They'll give it to Kosick. He'll get tripped up at the line, may have picked up a yard on the play, and it looks like that's going to be Aiden Stanky on the tackle.
Yeah, unfortunately, he tried to cut inside. They're looking for that cutback, which is okay, but when you've got 2 blockers ahead of you, just hand on their back and follow them, because I think they would have got many more yards on that, but he saw something on the inside, and he only got a few yards on that.
We've seen Gentile with the one cut and try to get north there, as Pavlock and Miller will be the receivers to the far side. Noah Trogio now with the handoff on the jet motion, going to the far side. He'll try to cut back inside, get to the 20. And that's where he'll be brought down. Pick up of just about 3 yards on the play. He'll bring up 3rd and 5 for Springfield.
That's a nice run. Again, fast feet. He gets it done. Not a big gentleman, but I'll tell you what, he gets them feet going.
Looks like Scooby-Doo, the cartoon, just with his feet going 100 miles an hour.
You are absolutely right, sir.
And again, we look forward to seeing a lot more of him as he develops over the next year or two for the Tigers. 4:58 here as the clock continues to run. Dylan Shealy will bring in the play from the sideline. Pavlock will check out for the Tigers. 3rd and 5 ball officially at the 20-yard line. Week 6 here of the Ohio high school football season. Rourke now in the shotgun. And Springfield will take a timeout. So we will step aside for a quick break. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Western Reserve Radio and WRQX AM 600. We're back after this.
Hey, football fans, don't miss the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey at the Cavelli Center in downtown Youngstown. The Phantoms are preparing for the upcoming season as they take to the ice to defend their Clark Cup championship. With over a dozen highly touted prospects on this year's roster, the road to the NHL clearly runs through Youngstown. Purchase season tickets, group tickets, and individual game tickets now by calling 330-747-PUCK. That's 330-747-7825 or go to youngstownphantoms.com.
Now back to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio and AM 600 The Patriot.
4:39 left here in this first quarter. No score. Springfield with the ball, 3rd and 5 at the Jackson Milton 20-yard line. And of course, again, we want to remind you this quarter is brought to you by the USHL Clark Cup champions, the Youngstown Phantoms. The road to the NHL runs through Youngstown. Great season group and individual game tickets are now on sale for the 2023-2024 season. Call 330-747-PUCK or go to youngstownphantoms.com. Opening home game for the Phantoms, September 30th. Tailgate will start at 3 o'clock. Tickets are $5 that night. And we are looking forward to a banner raising as Rourke now being a shotgun. Trip receivers to the far side. They'll send Guerrero in motion from right to left. Rourke now going to roll out to the near side, fire out to the flats. That's going to be Guerrero on the catch. And he's going to run over one Jackson Milton player and get down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And I believe that was going to be Jack McDivitt on the tackle, if that's what you want to call it.
I want to tell you something. He trucked him. He went right over top of him. Now, he stopped him. But I'll tell you what, that man's going to be a little sore after that play.
Well, even speed bumps will slow you down. So,
yeah.
So impressive power running by Sean Guerrero.
And I like what they're doing. It's a nice mix. They're being patient with their plays.
In I formation, Miller to the far side as a receiver. Now they'll hand off to Kosick. Kosick trying to get off to the right side. Ran into the tackle from Jackson Milton. He'll be brought down. May have picked up a little bit on the play, but Hugh, the 6'1", 270-pound senior, made contact first, then slowed him down.
Yeah, he looks like he's a little bit more than that, but that's okay. We'll go by that number.
2nd and goal now for the Tigers at the 7-yard line, 3:47. As the clock continues to run, Kosick will check out. Dante Gentile will check in, and we're going to have to watch him as he had some success between the guards on this drive. So Ruark now in the shotgun. He'll have Gentile to his left. He'll give it to Gentile. Gentile working his way forward into the end zone for the Springfield touchdown. 3:24 of the first quarter. The Tigers take a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, it looked like they just ran off tackle on that, and I don't even think anybody had a hand on him. He just went a little bit inside and bounced it out, and that was an outstanding job. Great run. Really good run. I like the play calling today, too. Jim, he's flowing real good with his plays. He's taking what they're giving him, and then he's throwing that little bit of pass in there, which that's what he needs to do. Just keep timing up with that offense. Don't throw too much stuff out there. Just run your game and do what you got to do. I like what he's doing.
Yeah, keeping the defense honest here as Springfield will attempt the extra point. Kosick with the kick, and it is good. So with 3:24 left here in the first quarter, Springfield scores on their first drive. They take a 7-0 lead. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio and WRQX AM 600. We're back after this.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Now back to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio and AM 600 The Patriot.
3:24 left here, first quarter. Springfield drives downfield on their first possession. They get into the end zone by way of a Dante Gentile 7-yard touchdown run. Springfield takes a 7-0 lead over the 5-0 Jackson Milton Blue Jays. And I think for Jackson Milton, Coach, this is going to be the first time that they're going to be tested, actually, by a team with maybe a little more size and some depth.
Absolutely. Definitely the size. Looks like they're going to battle some speed, too, because I'll tell you what, Springfield looks a lot quicker than they do.
Kosick for the kickoff. Of course, all these kickoffs are brought to you by Repair That Glass, as we're going to have a flag, I believe, we're going to have a dead ball offside against Springfield, so they will push that back 5 yards.
That one hurts because he kicked that to the 2-yard line.
Of course, again, all the kickoffs brought to you by Repair That Glass. Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass, offering a full range of automotive glass repairs. For an appointment, call 330-534-3192. And for Repair That Glass, here's the good news. We're going to do it one more time.
It looked like there was the glass broke on that one, so Mr. Floyd Crooks was there calling that Floyd for forever.
Floyd has been around for a long time. He is the line judge on the home side. As Kosick will do this one again. 3:24 still on the clock. Springfield now with a 7-0 lead. This one going to be a shorter kick, fielded at the 13-yard line, brought out past the 20, 25, 30, and brought down at the 34-yard line. Hayden Pavlock with the tackle. And a flag comes flying in. That was Vincent Fay on the return, the 6'3", 170-pound junior.
Yeah, that came in super late, so I'm curious what it's going to be. I'm going to assume it's going to be a block in the back or a hold.
And indeed, we'll get the call from our official. So it's going to be a hold. They'll say block in the back.
Legal use.
Started out as a hold and turned into a block in the back. All right.
We'll take whatever they want to give us.
So our aforementioned line judge, Floyd Crooks, busy so far here in this first quarter. 3:17 left. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Jackson Milton. They'll mark the ball at the 25-yard line. Twin receivers to the far side. Make that trips now. As Caden Mitchell will be in the shotgun. Mitchell now rolling out to his left. He'll try to throw it over to the flat, and he's going to overthrow his receiver. Pass intended looked like it was intended for Vincent Fay, but just didn't get his feet set there, Coach.
Well, and I'm kind of glad that he didn't catch that ball because he was about to get unloaded on. It would have been not good for him.
Arms stretched out there, looking up to the sky, and never an envious position when you're a receiver.
Yeah, that's not a good one. And Carson Cunningham was sticking right there.
That's why.
I'll tell you what, if he pulled the trigger, it would have been a decleat.
Pistol formation now. 3 tight receivers to the left side. Mitchell now trying to cut back. He's going to be under pressure. Guerrero missed the tackle, and then they're going to throw it up in the air. It's going to be a 50-50 ball, and it's going to be knocked away. Again, pass intended for Vincent Fay in the double coverage, and nobody came down with it except for somebody on the Springfield sideline.
Well, it actually came down on Aiden Appel's helmet, and that's what it hit, and that's why it bounced way out of bounds. And we have an injury.
Yeah, we're going to have a Tiger down on the field. 3:05 left here in this first quarter for Springfield with a 7-0 lead. Of course, I want to thank all of our sponsors while we have the opportunity. Again, the Youngstown Phantoms, after finishing up the USHL Fall Classic in Cranberry, Pennsylvania this week, will return to the Cavelli Center on September 30th. Plenty to go on there. 3 o'clock. He will kick off a tailgate in the rear of the Cavelli Center up till 6 o'clock. And then at 7 o'clock, it will be the Youngstown Phantoms back on the ice. And then we'll have the banner raising, of course. And I believe if we have squared all that away, we will have the banner raising here on Western Reserve Radio. Check our social media at that time here as Hayden Pavlock's going to get up a little bit gingerly, but he's going to walk himself off. He has been one of the emerging players again for the Springfield Tigers. Looks like maybe twisted up an ankle a little bit here on this brand new turf here. Only a couple of games played on it. It's still fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll put some tape on. They'll ice down maybe a little bit, or they'll tape it up. He'll be fine.
Hayden Pavlock, one of the tough players from Springfield. I know you don't want to miss any time here. And I know as players, sometimes you have to save us from ourselves.
Yeah. That's happened a few times. Okay, you're all right? All right, good. Give me your helmet. I'll let you know when you're all right.
Keegan White will be to the left of Mitchell now in the backfield. 3 receivers to the far side. 3rd and 10 now from the Jackson Milton 25. Guerrero on the pressure. And Mitchell had to get away from it. Threw it into the turf, and that's going to bring up 4th down for the Blue Jays. 3 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he had pressure coming at him like crazy. And he would if he would have been able to stand in there, then he would have been able to hit Keegan White, because White was wide open. There was nobody within 10 yards of him. But the rush and the defense, that helped.
And that's a couple of plays where Guerrero's come off their left side, the Jackson Milton right side, free and unchallenged, and almost gotten the sack as Jackson Milton now preparing for the punt. 3 minutes left here, first quarter. Ball's at the 25-yard line. It'll be a short kick. This one's going to be a line end over end line drive. It'll be picked up at the 46 by Guerrero. He'll get past midfield and down to the Jackson Milton 45-yard line. That's where Springfield will start their second drive of the evening with 2:53 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Jonathan French right on the right in front of him, but he was able to get about 3-4 yards on the return, so that's a good job. We usually say let it go, but we had a blocker in front of him, and I'm okay with that.
They're actually going to spot this ball at the 44-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Springfield in Jackson Milton territory. 2:53 left here in the first quarter.
Now let's see if Springfield's patient with their offense. No sense in going and throwing all over. Let's keep doing what we're doing.
Guerrero, the receiver to the far side. O'Donnell will be the tight end to the right. Rourke in the shotgun. He'll have Kosick to his left. He'll give it to Kason Kosick. He'll break one tackle, get past the 40, and be brought down inside the 40, down at the 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 7 for Springfield. 2nd and 3 now for the Tigers.
That was a good job defensively. They just Zayas got in there as a linebacker. I mean, he saw it and he shot it, but unfortunately, when you shoot it, you got to gear down, because he's coming at you and he took a sidestep and missed him.
Kosick will remain running back in the backfield. Double tight end now for Springfield. Twin receivers to the far side would be Guerrero and Sheely, with Rourke in the shotgun. He'll roll out to his right. He's going to take himself, tuck the ball away, and take it down to the 31-yard line. Pick up a 5, and that's enough for another Springfield first down.
Yeah, that's a good job. He saw nobody was open, and he had to take it and do what he had to do, and that's a pretty good, outstanding job. Again, Mr. French was there, but again, out after the first down, so the linebackers came.
One of the things we talked about is Springfield looking a little bigger, a little stronger. We're seeing that on the initial contact. Even when they're getting penetration in the backfield, the running backs are breaking that first and second tackle.
Yeah, a lot of arm tackles. If they're going to bring these guys down, they got to square up and get the pads into them. I see too much that. I saw it the other day with the NFL as well as college.
Rourke now in the shotgun. Trip receivers to the far side. Rourke with a quick pass out to Sheely. He'll make his way down to the 25, and he'll stretch it down maybe to the 24, but he's going to be brought down on the shoestring tackle by Jack McDivitt. McDivitt having a tough time over there.
Well, I'll tell you what, he doesn't make that tackle, and you're right, he has a shoestring. He doesn't make that tackle. That's off to the races. I like what they're doing. They're playing smart football, nice offense, getting it in the flow. He looked right with all the stuff going right, and then threw left, and there was one-on-one coverage, so it was a great job.
Stick around. We'll be bringing you to Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update. Great games around the area tonight. As double tight end this time. Hand off to Kosick. Kosick, again, will blow past one of the Jackson and Milton defenders. He loses his helmet. Again, we see that strength there. And at the time, that was going to be Joey Zayas, 5'11", 180. He's not exactly a small guy, but again, Springfield showing that strength from the backfield.
Well, I want to tell you something. This kid's all over the field. I'm watching him as a linebacker, and I mean, he's doing a great job.
And we're going to have a Jackson Milton player down on the far side here. 35 seconds left here, first quarter. Springfield with a 7-0 lead. And again, we want to take a look at some of the scores around the area on the Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update as we start to get them in just about 24 minutes into the 6th week of high school football season. And Beaver Local now takes a 7-0 lead over Niles. East Liverpool 7-0 over Cambridge. West Branch jumping out to a 14-0 lead over Minerva. Say hello to Lucas Black out there. Also an outstanding hockey player for the Canton Akron Jets. United with a 7-0 lead over Lisbon. Girard 7-0 over Lakeview. Columbiana and Letonia going at it. The Clippers taking a 7-0 lead in the first. And over at Austintown Fitch, Coach, with the newly built part of the stadium there, the Ursuline Irish take a 6-0 lead. And that is one of the most anticipated games in the area after we saw what Ursuline did to Warren Harding. An impressive performance last week. And, you could say a lot about Ursuline, but that's going to be a tough team going into the postseason.
Yeah, it's their they got their stuff together. So we'll have to see, because you know what it gets when you get to the playoffs. It starts getting squeezed and tough. The gentleman that was down, he's okay. It was just a cramp. They were overworking on him.
And that promotion for the Ursuline Irish, of course, encouraged by Ryan Bonacci. We know he's listening. So Rourke now under center, I formation. Kosick, the tailback. Kuboff, the fullback. They'll give it to Kaysen. He'll work his way forward. He'll drag 2, 3, 4 Jackson Milton defenders all the way down to I believe it's going to be the 17-yard line. We'll make it the 16 now. And what an impressive run by Kosick. Lowered his shoulder and driving his legs.
Yeah, Brody Pugh just took a ride on his back. He couldn't get him down because them legs were pumping. And that is the end of the first quarter. That was a fast first quarter.
Talk about Brody Pugh, 6'1", 270, not a small man. And as the coach mentioned, the end of the first quarter here in New Middletown, Springfield with a 7-0 lead over the Jackson Milton Blue Jays, knocking on the door. We're going to step aside for a timeout. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week here on Western Reserve Radio and WRQX AM 600, The Patriot. Back after this.
Accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192.
Now back to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio and AM 600 The Patriot.
Second quarter action coming up here in New Middletown. Springfield with a 7-0 lead over the undefeated Jackson Milton Blue Jays. Take a look at a couple scores from around the area on the Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update. Dover, the Tornadoes, they take a 6-0 lead over Canfield. Notre Dame Cathedral Latin takes a 7-0 lead over Howland. Sharon over Wilmington on the PA side. Sharon leading 6-0. Struthers with a 6-0 lead over Hubbard. Valley Christian with a 6-0 lead over Wellsville. Rourke now with a whole handoff to Kosick. Kosick to the left side. He'll make a couple cuts, pick up about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 now for the Tigers.
Yeah, there was a host of linemen over there. They were able to scrape over and get them. Didn't get all the numbers. Great job, though, by them. They were able to, they got 4 yards on it, so that's an outstanding job. But Hawksley was there, was the main guy that hit him. He didn't get him all the way, and he just kept driving.
Gentile checking in for Kosick now. 2nd and 6, 11:26 left here in this second quarter. Keep an eye on Gentile. He had the first touchdown, 7 yards. Rourke going to step back, fire into the corner of the end zone. Looking for Guerrero. It's going to be caught in the end zone. Holton Rourke to Sean Guerrero. And the Springfield Tigers take a 13-0 lead over the Jackson Milton Blue Jays.
He beat Devitt very badly, but it was an outstanding throw. He put it right where he could only get it, so that was a great job, absolutely great job by the offense and Rourke. He laid it where it needed to be. So Springfield's pumping on all 8 cylinders right now.
I think they may have been so focused on Gentile that they left McDivitt out there in the corner by himself. As Guerrero now prepared to hold for Kosick. Jake O'Donnell on the snap. No snap, but Guerrero will pull that down. Make it work, and it is good. So 11:14 left here in the second quarter. Springfield with a 14-0 lead. Dave, we're going to keep it right here for a moment as we'll take a look at some of the other scores from around the area. Over in Lowville, the Rockets take a 3-0 lead over Mineral Ridge. We don't see a whole lot of field goals in high school, Coach, but grass field over there in Lowville. Not the easiest to kick off of.
No. And now it's cooling down, so there'll be a little bit of dampness. So that's all factors.
Take a look at some of the other scores from around. See if there's any updates for you on the Cleveland Cobra scoreboard update.
Hey, Jim.
Yes, sir.
We have an update for Warren Harding and Cheney. Warren Harding has scored, yet the score has not been posted as Cheney player hit the guy after he entered the end zone, then pushed him down again after he got up. There is now a coaches and refs meeting at the center of the field.
Okay, so Cheney Cowboys and the Harding Raiders over on Western Reserve Radio 2 and Sports Radio 1240. Thank you, Dave, for that. Interestingly enough, things getting a little heated over there as both teams looking to get back in the win column. As Kosick comes ahead for the repair that glass kickoff. It's going to be a lone line drive. It'll head towards the 10-yard line. It'll be picked up and brought out to the 20. And maybe out to the 21-yard line. No further than that. And that was going to be Vincent Fay on the return for the Jackson Milton Blue Jays. 11:08 left here in the second quarter.
Yeah, there was a host of tacklers over there. He wasn't going anywhere, so they wrangled him up. So that's good coverage by the special teams. They're hitting again, all cylinders. So now we'll see what Jackson Milton does offensively.
So as Dave reported, 6-0 lead for Harding over Cheney. If I did get that right. I got more focused on the aftermath of what was going on.
It is 6-0 pending an extra point. They're having many meetings right now between teams and coaches.
All right, here.
We have a penalty here or something.
Okay.
Must have been.
I think somebody just dropped their flag. It's 1st and 10 now. Ball at the 37-yard line for Jackson Milton. Twin receivers to the near side. Mitchell in the shotgun. Quick pass. Out to the 35 and brought down at the 40-yard line. That was going to be Aiden Stanky on the reception. It's going to bring him second down for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that was just a quick pass. So they were able to lasso it, and Dylan Shealy was on the play.
2nd and 7 now. Ball at the 40-yard line for the Blue Jays. 10:40 on a running clock. Mitchell in the shotgun. He'll have twin receivers to the near side. Mitchell now checking to the sideline. Get a little clarification from the coach. Joey Zayas will be the single receiver to the far side. Mitchell not going to take it himself. Trying to find some room to run up front. Nowhere to go. And everywhere he stepped, there was just a black jersey. And I don't know, Coach. That had to be a scary sight for him. But it's going to bring up 3rd down. No gain on the play.
Defensively, they stayed in their lanes. Jackson Milton was trying to open a hole. But I'll give the defensive line credit for Springfield. They could not move them. And that quarterback had nowhere to go. He looked left. He looked right. He had nowhere to go. So that wasn't good. Got a little dark in here.
It did. It's going to get dark a little earlier now that the fall was coming. Of course, you mentioned that. Not overly excited about that, but 9:42 left here in the second quarter. 3rd and 7 now for Jackson Milton at their own 41-yard line. Mitchell in the shotgun. Trip receivers to the far side. We're going to have a whistle as Jackson Milton will take a timeout. So with 9:27 left here second quarter, we'll step aside for a quick break. You're listening to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio and WRQX AM 600. We're back after this.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
Now back to the Sandrock Concrete High School Football Game of the Week on Western Reserve Radio and AM 600 The Patriot.
8:57 left here in the second quarter, coming out of the Jackson Milton timeout. And Coach Sean Guerrero over there talking to our line judge. I don't know what the issue seemed to be, but nonetheless, 3rd and 7 now as Mitchell will be in the shotgun. Trip receivers to the far side. Mitchell rolling out to the far side, looking for somewhere to run. He's under pressure. And Kubov's now going to chase him down in the backfield, bring him down at the 35-yard line. Make no mistake, Caden Mitchell had time to throw, but there were no receivers open.
There was nobody open. They had blanket coverage in the back. That was a great job by the DBs.
8:57 as the clock continues to run. Wyatt Kubov chasing down Caden Mitchell. Mitchell, 6 foot, 170 pounds. No easy task there. Secondary doing an outstanding job for Springfield. Tigers with a 14-0 lead here midway through the second quarter. Punt formation now for the Blue Jays. They'll get rid of this one. It'll be a low line drive, going to head past the 40, and it'll be picked up by Rourke on the sideline. And we'll see where they mark this officially as the line judge will set. And we'll see if we get a mark from the referee, and I believe it's going to be at the 39-yard line. So Springfield will take over 1st and 10 at their own 39. 8:33 left here, second quarter, leading 14-0, Coach.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jackson Milton is in a fight right now because I tell you what, Springfield says we're getting it done, and they're coming at them. So let's see what they do offensively. They haven't stalled yet offensively. Nice long drives, sustained, mixing up the offense. This is the time where if you want to see something, these are the times. I know it's up 14, but they seem to have them at will.
I formation now, Rourke under center. Gentile will be the tailback. Wyatt Kubov, the fullback. They'll hand it off up the middle. Gentile tried to leap over one player. Didn't make it, but may have picked up two on the play. Aiden Stanky was the first one there at the line of scrimmage and tripped up Gentile as they're going to go right back to the line. One receiver to each side, tight ends to each side. They'll pitch it out to Gentile. Gentile looking to cut his way, but he's going to be brought down in the backfield. And that's going to be Aiden Stanky on the tackle, cutting Gentile down at the ankles.
Well, I'll tell you what. Again, he is doing a great job as linebacker. He saw that open up, and he was playing the backside, and he shot through, and he did a great job snaking that out. So, kudos to him. But Springfield, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Now, the other thing too, Jim, I've never liked run and toss to the boundary. I don't know what they see. Never liked it.
7:39 here as the clock continues to run. 3rd and 10 now from the Springfield 40-yard line. Guerrero and Shealy will be in a tight formation just to the left of the offensive line. Padlock now in motion. He'll cut upfield. Rourke going to roll out to his left. Fire downfield, and it's going to be picked off at the 34-yard line. Flag on the play. The flag coming in at the site of the interception. We'll see what the call is going to be. Clock will stop with 7:19. As of now, it'll be Jackson Blue Jay ball. Pending the resolution of the penalty. And the officials having a little bit of a discussion. Had something to do with the play. I don't know if
there was a penalty afterwards.
Looked like the initial call was a horse collar tackle, but let's see our referee can find some clear field. So indeed, personal foul. Face mask against Jackson Milton, against Springfield. And that will add 15 on for the Blue Jays.
That was Vincent Fay on that return.
Jackson Milton will get the ball at their own 48-yard line. 7:19 left here, second quarter. Blue Jays trailing Springfield 14-0. Give you a couple scores here from around the area as they'll go under center this time. Quick handoff to the right side to be Stanky trying to get past the 50, inside the 45, down to the 40, and near the 40-yard line. That'll be enough for a Jackson Milton first down in Springfield territory. Coach, and Dave feeding us some scores from the Gessler Propane studio. And if I can get to open up, Cheney and Harding now tied up at 7. And also got a score coming in from Poland. As of now, we'll see, a couple minutes ago, it was 14-7 South Range, leading the undefeated Poland Bulldogs. Mitchell now in the shotgun, who will have trip receivers to the far side in the tight formation. Mitchell now going to take it off the right side himself. He's going to be met 3 yards downfield and brought down near the 30-yard line. Pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Blue Jays. And just another updated score from Poland. South Range takes a 20-7 lead over the Bulldogs.
Wow, I'm shocked on that one. I got an update from Miss Myers. Cardinals 7, Dover 6, 8:03 in the second quarter.
Also over on City View Sportscast, Lowville takes a 10-0 lead over Mineral Ridge. Mineral Ridge, a one-loss team, lost to this very same Jackson Milton Blue Jays. As Mitchell now under center, flag on the play, and I believe that's going to be a false start against the Jackson Milton Blue Jays, and indeed it will. That'll knock them back 5. It'll be 2nd and 9 now for the Blue Jays.
Well, there's stripes for this one before that, and the other on that